Hi everyone. So you're probably wondering where I have been. And if I talk long enough, you'll know I have been very ill for the last 2 weeks, week and a half. I don't know, since Friday before last. At any rate, I am headed out to go on a trip. you know, I'm going to visit a bunch of friends and family, and I'm going to be gone from my home for about as long as I've been sick. I'm going to be gone until after the first of the year. So as I was contemplating this trip, I thought, wow, that's a long time to be away from my junk journaling. So I have been on a quest to figure out what things I can take that I can fit into a bag. And here is my bag. It's just a regular, reusable grocery bag. So I want to be able to take some things with me. And what I plan on doing is I'm going to make these mini junk journals, little bitty ones that that are very simple, so they don't take a whole lot of time, because again, I'm going to be on vacation hanging out with family and friends. And I'm going to take them and I'm going to hide them somewhere, and hopefully I'm going to be able to record and share with y'all when some stranger gets to pick it up and take it home with them. That's the plan. We'll see how well I pull this off. But at any rate, I thought also it might be fun to look at the things that I consider absolutely, this is what I have to have, and what will fit in this one grocery bag. What can I take with me that will achieve these small, simple junk journals and be able to fit in one bag and still keep my creative spirit happy. So that's what this video is about. And without further ado, let's get started. So first, we're going to dig down to all of this. We're going to start with paper. So of course, you have to have paper. I have just chosen a selection of double-sided cardstock. I started off with double-sided cardstock. You can see right here, because it makes it a lot easier when you're making a cover. Then, and you use the cover like that. You already have an inside. Also, when then with the leftovers, I can make tags and so forth, or pockets or whatever. But particularly with tags, then I don't have to worry about lining them. I don't have to worry about that. Which, if I'm trying to keep things minimal, that will make my life easier. I didn't bring along a whole lot of fancy papers. I'm just bringing along a couple of pages of map and this one little stray piece of thin stuff I have here, tracing paper. And then I've got a lot of coffee dyed paper. I've got some coffee dyed graph paper, some index cards, some kindergarten or grade school writing paper, a few old book pages that I'm just going to use to tear up or whatever, a few more book pages, some notebook paper, and a couple of envelopes. So that's just the basic paper collection. It's certainly not what I would normally want to use in its entirety, but I think for these little projects, it's a perfect little starting place. And hopefully I'll be able to find paper elsewhere if I need it. I'm also taking along some some other book paper pages. These are a little bit sturdier than the ones I have down here. Those are mostly for collaging. These I actually are, particularly if I double them up, they should be strong enough to do a few things with. So that's my paper selection. I'm going to set this off to the side for just a moment. Okay, so what else do you have to have? Well, you don't have to have. I have to have. I'm going to get this bring this over right now because I just want to get it done with. So I have in this bag, I have a collection of laces, a few little pieces of fabric, and some sari silk. One thing I'm going to add to this bag is more of this paper that my friend gave me. See if I can find my little, I only have one little snippet, and I thought I need to add some more of that into this bag. Oh, I don't see it. I'll have to share it with you some other time. I will tell you this paper, oh, there it is. I see a little snippet of it right here. This paper right here, it's obviously like some, I can't think of the name because, you know, I've been so sick, you can't even imagine. This paper, though, I will tell you, I've only used it on one journal so far, and I'm so grateful my friend gave this to me. I had been hoarding it because, you know, that's what we do. But it adds so much luscious texture with so little paper that I use it for layering, and it is just divine. Unfortunately, the journal that it went into has already been packed. I was going to try to do some flip throughs before I left of the journals that I'm giving away on this trip, but that didn't happen. I'm gonna, I was gonna say I could try to do it before I give them, but that's not gonna happen either. So I guess those are just not gonna get their flip throughs done. If I find a few spare minutes, I will absolutely do that. Particularly with one, I think one of them will be, it's the one that I use this paper in, and it's a mermaid inspired, based on a DigiKit by Screech Owl Studios. At any rate, keep your eyes open for that kind of, you know, for any kind of specialty paper like that. I'm telling you, it's so fun to work with. So I'm going to pick up some more of that before and put that in my bag. Because I do have white pages, I'm bringing along 2 stencils. One that has this, I don't know that any of these papers are gonna work right. It's just this triangular thing, honeycomb, and then this pattern right here. I just grabbed these because I know that some of the papers that I have, well, actually I grabbed the papers, one paper that had a honeycomb pattern and one paper that had this pattern because I knew I had these stencils. And so I could sort of maybe tie some of that in together because I wanted something to go on that white, the white stuff, the white back of the paper. This is one of my pages that I print out. It's just my list of words, and I'm gonna cut this up while I'm bored as well. So it's always nice to be able to add a few words. Now, let's see. As far as bling goes, these are handy, and I know they will match, or at least sort of match with the colors that I have. It's just some pearls and green, blue, and silver bling. Okay, now for the big stuff. So I don't know that I could live without Fabri-Tac, so it's going. Fabri-Tac is going. It's not going to go in that bag though, apparently. Oh, you know what? I have this bag over here with Fabri-Tac from the last time I traveled somewhere. But this Fabri-Tac is getting a little annoying to use, so maybe I don't know. I'll deal with that later because I don't really have time. I was supposed to have left already. And then I've got to have my art glitter glue, so I'm taking this. I suppose I could take my Ohu stick since I'm right here, and it's handy. So while I'm right here, I'm also going to take 2 stamps. I was only going to take one, which is this one. It is my handwriting that I don't know that it actually says anything stamp. But also some of the papers that I took, or at least 1 or 2 of the papers I took, had an old typewriter on it. So I thought just to bring some cohesiveness, I would bring along this stamp as well. And of course, if you have a stamp, you have to have ink. And speaking of ink, I had to have some way to use those stencils and some way to use, you know, I have to ink my edges, so all of that's going into here. And this is my normal binding kit. You know, it just has a pokey tool, an awl, and some binder clips, and I have wax thread in here, although I don't use it very often. And I have just some regular thread that I can use my ink on to color it a little bit. I'm going to take some tweezers along because I just find sometimes that it's nice to have something whenever it gets a little fidgety. And I'm taking along 2 pairs of scissors, one regular and one that I used to fussy cut with. And I'm going to take my Crop-A-Tile because I can't seem to live without it. And I have to have a 1-hole punch, 1 inch punch. There we go. I'll get these words out. So that is that. And then I've got 2 more little boxes here that I just have some paper clips in. And I don't think I'm actually going to take this one because this is just like little fiddly stuff, but I don't have a whole lot in there. I normally would have a bunch of little, you know, little things that you can put on stamps or so forth. But I actually have not had time to restock that because, again, I have just been horribly ill. So we are going to stick all of that in there. And then I have a paper cutter. I don't suppose I actually have to have a paper cutter, but I get very frustrated. I really cannot cut a straight line, as I've told y'all, and I'm just going to save myself the frustration and take that with me because I think it will make my life easier. And finally, after I get all of this out of the way, I was just finishing up, and I think I told you all that I was doing this workshop the other day. Did I tell you I'm taking this right here as well? So let me stick this in here. I think I told you I was doing a workshop the other day, and like my second day sick, it was such a challenge. And you know, now on top of that pile, I forgot I'm taking these 2 items as well. My bone folder, which I don't actually have to have, but it's small. I'm gonna take it. And oh no, now I'm gonna have to cough. Pardon me. And my ruler, because it helps me tear things. And because I'm not going to have this thing to measure with. So, finally, now we're down to the final little dregs here. I'm taking some odd bits, and the reason is because I started this journal at the event the other day, and at the workshop the other day, and I thought I might as well complete that. And as I was pulling it out, I realized that, you know, I have all of these little bits and pieces that I had already cut and are already coordinated, you know, somewhat. And yeah, so I'm going to just go ahead and take, you know, all of these little bits that I've already started and finish up this journal. And I've also got these other bits left to work with. So there's that little pile, and this is the kind of book I'm going to be making. It's you know, it's just a pretty simple little journal. I don't know what that's doing tucked in there, but it's a little envelope. it will be an envelope when it's glued. But I thought I could finish this one up and add this one to the little gift giving thing, you know, the random act of kindness thing. So I'm taking these scraps, and that's all. And this probably really shouldn't count, but you know, I'm gonna take it because it's almost there and might as well. So I think that's it for right now. I might try to get in one flip through because it's just such a cute little journal, and I did it mostly sick, so it's not as, you know, over the top as I might have normally done, but it's for one of my best friends in the whole world, and I know she's gonna love it anyway, and there are some cute things in it, so I think I will try to share that with you. At any rate, until then, you all have a very Merry Christmas, and I hope all of your wishes come true in the new year. I will see you all later. Bye. Stay healthy.